that smart notebook software that really sucks. All right, so again, completely optional. I'm recording this, so if you decide that after the fact, because this is what happens, you don't do it, and then you realize after the fact, oh wow, that would be a really cool thing to know and have. Can you like repeat everything you said again, like like the last half hour? Just give me the quick version of it this time. And it's like you didn't know it was important, so you didn't do it. But like I'm kind of in the same boat myself. All right, I want to be sold on it before I'm going to put in the effort. So I'm going to hit program, and I'm going to go to new, and hit enter. Now I'm gonna name it. All right, and it only allows you to have so many characters in the name, so it's kind of annoying in that regard. Because what I'd like to say is distance formula for 3D. All right, but I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'll say dis. All right, the alpha lock is automatically on under name. So all I have to do is just hunt around for the D, I, the S. I could say dist, I guess, dist. And then 3. So I hit alpha to turn off the alpha lock, and then D. And then hit enter. It's kind of a pain to change the name of a program. So make sure it's exactly the way you want it to be before you hit enter. Otherwise, you'll have to deal with the workaround. It's not terrible. It's just kind of annoying. All right. For you, I mean, for me, I don't care. I'll just explain it. But like most of the time, people they create the name, and then it's not what they want, and so they just let it go for like ever. And then instead of having like law of cosines program as LCOS, it's LCIS, and you're like, oh, it's the wrong name, and I just gotta keep staring at that. So it's fine no matter how you slice it, but whatever. All right, so now what we want to do is ask the calculator to ask the user what the coordinates are. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select input. All right, and that's in everything you need is in the program menu for the most part. So I'm going to hit program, and I'm going to go to IO, input output. I'm going to select input. There's also an option to prompt. Prompt if you just want, like if it's an obvious variable, like for example, the quadratic formula is my classic first time program. A, B, and C. Like anybody using a quadratic formula program knows what the A, B, and C represents. So there's no explanation required. You just have it prompt A, B, and C. But here I want to explain to the person what the values are. All right, so what I'm going to have them do is input, and then I'm going to type in first coordinate. All right, so I'm going to do an alpha lock. So second alpha. The quotes are right here, the plus sign. Alpha plus brings up the quotes. All right, so I'm going to type in first. You just got to hunt around for it. Again, it's annoying, but it's not impossible. All right. And you can abbreviate it in any way that you think you might understand. The space is the 0 button. It's like that upward facing bracket. It creates a space. And you could just go core. C-O-O-R. And I'll put a question mark with the negative symbol. Then I close my quotes. All right, and then I'm going to hit alpha. So we wanted to actually give the first coordinates. Now it's a question of how we wanted to do it. All right, so comma A, so alpha A, alpha math gives you the A. Comma B, comma C. All right, so we just need some dummy values to get popped in there. So that's all that's going to happen there. All right, so it's going to ask, and actually I could show you real quick. Just stay where you are. I'll just run mine. Oh, syntax. What do they do? Oh, jeez. I did prompt and input in the same thing. So actually, let me do a quick change. So you're going to want to do this too, I think. So go back to input, and let's make that display. It's going to be better this way. We'll do a display and a prompt. It'll be less confusing. So hover right on the input, and then hit Program IO option 3. Then delete the A, B, and C stuff. So I'm just going to have this display first coordinate. Yeah, that's going to be better. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure. Yeah, it'll say first coordinate done. Obviously, we want more than that. All right. So now in the second line, I'm going to hit prompt. Sorry.
Then we type the characters and you have to press the alpha lock again?
Every time you want to type, yeah. Or you could, if you just want to do one value, you just hit alpha. But if you want to do multiple ones, like a string, then it has to be alpha lock, second alpha. All right. So program IO, this time we're going to do prompt. All right. And it's going to be A, comma, B, comma, C. So alpha A, comma, B, comma, C. All right, for the next line, basically we're going to do the same thing. We're going to type just about the same stuff. We're going to display second coordinate, and then we'll have it prompt D, E, and F. All right, just 3 more components. All right, so program IO display alpha lock second. I mean, you could just do 2ND if you want, but I'm going to write it out. The space again is the 0 coordinate. Question mark again is the negative symbol. Close it up. All right. Before hitting enter, hit the alpha button again to get out of the alpha lock. Otherwise, you're going to sometimes, it doesn't always happen, but you can see above enter in green, it says solve, which is a completely different function than enter. So we don't want to do that. So hit alpha so that the alpha lock is off, then hit enter. And then have it prompt D, E, and F. So program, IO, prompt, D, comma, E, comma, F. And again, it doesn't really matter what you call them. It's just whatever you use in your prompt, that's what the calculator is going to store. It's going to store the values that I plug in when it prompts me for A, and I type in the number 2, for example. It's going to store the value 2 in for A. All right. Same thing with B and C, right? And D, E, and F. Right. It's what I do with those things that are important. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in my distance formula. So square root, open paren, because I get the open paren for the square root, but I need an open paren for the x2 minus x1 squared. So D minus A quantity squared plus E minus B, the quantity squared, plus F minus C, the quantity squared. So basically, the distance formula just using A, B, C, D, E, and F rather than X1, 2, 3, X1, 2, Y1, 2, and so on. Now, just to give you the quick rundown, if I were to run the program now, what it would do is it would actually ask me A, B, C, D, E, and F. It would run this calculation, but then it will not tell me the answer because I haven't told it to tell me the answer. All right, it's very literal, all right, almost to the point of being annoying. Yeah. So I got to tell it to tell me the answer. So I'm going to store this in as a dummy variable. All right, I've used A, B, C, D, E, and F, so let me use G. And what I'm going to have it do is display G as an answer. All right, so, but I want to be a little bit more elegant than that. So I'm going to do program IO option 3 display. I'm going to say distance equals, right? Because I'm not a noob here. I want I want anybody using this program to see, oh well, somebody who knows what they're doing created this program. All right, so distance. You can abbreviate it. DIST is fine. Again, this is for you. So what do I care? As long as you understand your abbreviation, it's fine. I'm going to use a colon instead of an equals. So colon. And then I'll give a little space. Because otherwise it'll put it right up against the colon. I don't feel good about that. Close the quotes. Comma. G. Oh, sorry. It's the store key. STO, right above the on. I have no alpha. You're just hitting STO. Yeah, it's one of those keys. I don't like that one because it's one of those keys that doesn't look like what the key looks like. You hit a comma key, a comma comes up. You hit a sign key, a sign comes up, or something very close to that. You hit STO, sideways arrow, just the arrow comes up. So it is what it is, but I think we can survive. So, quit out of here. Now we can run our program. All right, let me refresh my memory on what that particular question was talking about. We had 10, so we have 10, 7, 4. All right, so program, I'm going to run my distance in 3D formula or program. The first coordinate, it has 3 components. So we have 10, 7, 4. It'll ask for the second coordinate, -1, 3, -2. And it tells me what my distance is. All right, so that's pretty solid. All right, maybe you want not a decimal answer. Well, tough. You're getting a decimal answer. I don't know what else to tell you. No, it's fine. Just square it to see if it's the square root of some number. It happens to be. And so there you have it. All right. You could actually change the program if you want so that it doesn't give you the actual square root. It'll just give you the radicand. And so you know to just put the radical over it. But then, you run the risk of thinking that that's actually the distance. So you'd have to put a note in your program to say, the square root of this number is your distance. Or this is the squared distance. Something along those lines. But I look at it and say, well, if I know it's a square root, just square it, So I'm going to pop back to this. If anybody had trouble with the program, I can walk you through it later. But I'm also, like I said, I'm also going to save this and post it up on YouTube. With that being said, I guess I should save it.
How do you save the program?
Just by quitting out. It's automatically locked in.